さん、そして、クリスティさん、こんにちは。
こんにちは。
Hello, Kristin. Hello, Florence.
As we got into Reiki, we began to realize the fact that more and more people who were made masters were teaching shorter and shorter classes. And so it was obvious to me that they didn't all really know how to teach. And so they had less to say, and so classes were getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
And the people were learning nothing.
And so then I was the chair of an interdisciplinary studies department. And it suddenly dawned on me that perhaps we could teach Reiki professionally. It was at the time when the state of Florida and state of Utah and Texas were trying to legislate. So I thought, well, why can't we teach it for credit so that there would be a process of a person receiving academic credit for Reiki.
And more thorough training.
Right. And so Florence here, we got together, we
did.
Figured out what we wanted on tests, the questions for the tests, and together we worked that out. And Florence joined me, and I think you probably taught the first class, didn't you?
Oh, I did.
The very first class.
Yeah,
and
right.
Pretty soon we were able to have 2 classes going a semester and so forth. And so we knew that the type of student that we were going to get would be varied. There would be some people who were only taking it because they thought it might be easy. And then, just
others
a real
were very
mix.
Interested.
And so we had to devise ways to work around that kind of thing. And we also felt that those students should know something about alternative healing. In other words, there's always the question in a class, how is a Reiki practitioner different from a natural healer? And so that was one area where we expanded. We just worked out ways in which we could have half of the class as instruction and the second half of the class as practice.
And in the second half of the class, a semester would be about 15 weeks, and they would be coming once a week for 3-hour class. In 7 weeks, we would have them cut the hours of the class somewhat and send them out to various homes where there were people who were very sick and needed and wanted Reiki.
Oh, wow. So,
and that way they would have training actually in doing it and relating to the family.
That was at the Reiki 2
as
level.
Well.
Florence has always taught the Reiki 2 class.
Okay. Reiki 2 and Reiki 1. So.
Both of them. And so in the
did.
Reiki 1 class, the second half of the class is just practice.
Right.
The class itself had to be approved by the curriculum committee. And that is not an easy task at all. But I managed, I think, because I was already a member of the curriculum committee, and people knew me and trusted me. As we were feeling our way through this, we realized, of course, there were people who could not come to our clinics. And so that was where we hit on the idea of having the Reiki 2 students go out into the community to treat people who couldn't come to our clinics, who were homebound and so forth. And so we got the Reiki started, and then I decided that we needed a certificate in wellness and the healing arts. And so we developed that, and that turned into a 10-course certificate, which included things like theories of healing, yoga, understanding nutrition, an ethics course, the 2 Reiki courses, and a brain-mind course, and an herbal pharmacology. So that was the core of the certificate.
And how long ago was this? When did you first start?
It just ended now.
I know.
1997, she taught the first Reiki class for credit.
最後に何かメッセージがありましたら一言ずつお願いしたいと思いますが。
I would really like to see Reiki go forward and like to see Reiki teachers continuing to learn as much as they can possibly learn, and really are very ethical about what they do, because in this country some of the things that have happened to Reiki have been strange. They're taking Reiki 1 on Friday night, Reiki 2 on Saturday night. On Sunday night, they are declared masters. And when they came to the clinic, they had no idea what to do. They stood there and they didn't know what to do with the person who was on the table.
I would certainly like to see at some point that other people could teach Reiki for credit in a college, and hopefully that they would be able and know it, have enough background to be able to sustain 15 weeks of instruction and get into depth. And one of the most wonderful things about it has been seeing all of those students really be helped by learning Reiki. There's so many of them who come from desperate situations, and frequently Reiki makes an enormous impression and improvement
They're
in
all
their
families.
lives. So we hope this will continue in some form.
Okay, do.
どうもありがとうござい
Thank
ました。
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.